Hello, I'm Jody from The Entertainer and I'm going to show you how to make Jack. Hello, today I am going to show you how to make Jack. So you'll need your adjustable loom, your hook, and you'll need 52 black bands, 52 red bands and 60 white bands. Now to start with, you will need to go from top to bottom with double bands. As you can see, I've put the loom into its adjusted form with the V shapes going all the way down. Okay, so let's get started. Now that's the head. We're going to go on to the neck, and for that we'll need black bands. Again, double bands. And that's the next. Then we'll move on to the body. So, starting with white, we're going to go white, red, white, red, white, red, all the way to the end. And just remember, we're still using the double bands. Miss, just make sure they're all on. This one's deciding to fight with me. And there's the basic that we have so far, all double bands from top to bottom. So again, using red and white, we're now going to bridge the gaps between the sets of bands. For that, what we do is we take two bands, we place them over one side, and draw them all the way across, creating a triangle like so. Do the same, the next one being white, and we'll go along the body of Jack all the way to the end. So what you may find is by pushing some of the bands down with your fingers allows you to have a little bit more space to work with on the pegs. There we go, so we're going to stop at that point. We're then going to miss this section out in the middle here in order to go up and start on the head itself. So for the head, in the same way that we've just done the bridging with the body, we're going to do the two sections of the head. For this, you'll need the double band set again, and just go over the top half of the head there, and the next half of the head just there. Again, push some of the bands down because you will start to find it will start becoming quite thick around now. Okay, now for this we need to put this towards the side, and we're then going to move on to the arms. Now for the hands, can be quite tricky. I've changed my colour of hook, it's just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit clearer. The first thing we do is we take a single white band, place the hook through it and twist it round 3 times. So it's 1, 2, 3 times. So you'll see we've got 4 little bars going along. So let that drop and you'll see that it clumps together. Then take 2 double white bands, place them together within the hook and carefully pull it tight and slide the coiled band that you had over your hook onto the outstretched one. Push it through like that, take the open end, put the hook through, and you'll end up with that. Just pull it taut so that you know that you've got them into the centre. Now the next thing we do, this is Jack's hand, we're then going to work on his arms, and for the arms we will need 5 sets of double bands, so you need 10 bands in total, and we'll do the same as this but just with black. So again, through the front and just pull it through. Once it's through the other side, tighten it through, and as you can see we're starting to form a bit more of an arm. And once you've done your fifth one in black, sorry, then that's your main arm. You'll need 2 of these, obviously, one for either side of Jack. Once you've done your 2, take your Jack's body and the arm, slide it down to the hook, stretch it out and slide it over the top section of the neck. Just make sure, unlike I have, that you get all of the bands over the actual end itself. Let's try that one again. There we are. You can see the hole. Can be fiddly. If you need someone to help you by holding the loom itself, you can do. There's one arm. I'll get another one done and I'll join you back in a moment. There we go, as if by magic, there's a second arm ready to go. Now, if you turn the loom around, you'll see at the bottom we've got 2 open ends. What we need to do now is make 2 cap bands. Now for the cap band, we take a single red band, one for each of the bottom ends, place it over the top and twist it round 1, 2 times. Do it again on that side, 1, 2 times. So we are now ready to put the base of our jack together. Right, like with any of our looming, we start with the bottom one. I'm just going to separate that out so you can see where I'm starting. So we go in and underneath your cap band and pull that one out and around and hook it over the next one. Okay, and we'll continue that along. You see the middle one, we'll just grab hold of that binding band just there, as so. So work your way up from bottom to top, just making sure that you go past all the bands on one and you grab the bottom ones. Decided to pop away there, we can grab that easily and stretch that over the top. Now, for the next section around here, you want to grab hold of the one that you did at the top first. So, I've already grabbed the top one and sent it over there. The two at the side, the top one I used was the one that's over this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate that out at the bottom so I know which ones I'm grabbing. Send the hook underneath and take those two bands just there. Pull those all the way through and that will hold the arm onto the neck area there. Do the same on both sides. And there we have Jack's neck and arms ready to go. And then we're on to the head. Again, start with the one that you had at the top and just work your way up, and we'll finish these three in a moment. like that, and then we'll go up as we will, continuing with the rest of our bands. Now for the top section just here, as you can see, we've got quite a tangle of bands here. If I'm going to pull the middle one up, just so you can start seeing and separating them out a little bit more and where I'm working. So after we've taken this top one away, what we need to do is we need to get the next one along, which is this top one just here, and send it diagonally over to that side where it came from. We then need the bottom one, and that goes straight up towards the top, so you have that kind of shape. Again, with this one, we want to pull this one here out of the way, and it's the one underneath that's going diagonal is the one we need to lift up. Finally, we need the one in the middle. Now the reason why there is a large amount towards going into the front of the top is to hold Jack's hat when we get around to it. So I'm just going to grab these two last bands here. So that's what we have so far. For the top section, just to finish it off, what we take one off the other side and pop it around the centre, and again hook the whole set of bands and send it over to the next one. This is where the tricky part comes, because what we need to do is we need to pull those bands all together, take a single white band, feed your hook through and underneath like that, grab hold of the band, you get another one, that one decided to launch, pull it all the way through, hook it onto the same hook itself. As you can see, we've now gone through, pull the top one over the hook and then pull it tight, and that's just going to give us a loop just to hold those bands together. Okay, from there take your hook and just carefully release all of the bands as you go down. Don't worry if any of the arms of your loom come loose slightly, it'll all go back together again afterwards. Straighten them out a little bit. So you get the desired effect, and this is the start of our Jack. Okay, next we're going to work on the face and the hat. Right, so now we've got Jack ready to go. We're going to work on the face. For the face, we take ourselves a single red band first of all, and like we did with the arms, put the hook through and go 1, 2, 3, 4 times round this time, so you should have 5 little bands as it goes along. Bunch that up as best as you can. Take a single red band, hook it onto the end, pull it tight, and then slide the ball over the end. There we go. Pull that to the middle, and as you can see, we have what is essentially a ball in the middle, like that. Now, wrap the two sides over your fingers, like that. Pull Jack's head tight, and as you can see where the bands separate, we're looking for the middle just here. That's the middle band just there. From the back of Jack's head, push the hook through and just make sure you're over to the other side of that central one. Take one of your ends and pull it through the center of Jack's head, taking care not to dislodge any of the bands that are already there. Once you've pulled it through, again, loop it around your finger, take an S-clip and hook that on just to hold it in place at the back, like that. Then with your other side, I see I've just let go of that one, make sure you're going around the outside of that next part, hook through the other side of what is going to be the nose and pull that through and attach it to the S-clip. Then we need to do the mouth. For the mouth, take a single black band, and what you need to do is split it so it becomes a single band. Hold the middle of the band up against Jack's face, and from the back pull through the mouth to allow you to create his nice smiley face. Now you can go at any point at the side, depends on how big you want the smile to be. The thing to remember is not to dislodge any of the white bands. So as I pull it open, you can see I'm going to go through this side band just here to there. Pull that one through, and the same on the other side. I'm going to go through the side of the head, hook it around the mouth, and then tuck it back. That's a little high. What you can do, just pull it down slightly until it sits where you want it. Now, what you're going to want to do at the back of Jack's head, you'll have just the two loose strands. Just take one, fold it in, and just tuck it underneath one of the white bands that we've used for the head. That's just so it's not sticking out too far, and it just keeps it all nice and tidy and tucked away. There we go. So next we're going to work on Jack's eyes. So for Jack's eyes, we need a single band in black, and this is going to be fed through several times. So the first thing to do is to attach it to the S-clip that you've already placed for doing the nose at the back. So there we go. From the front, find out where you'd like the eyes. Between the top three bands that we placed, there's a crossover in the middle, and there's top three bands. Placing it there is usually a good start. So to the left, we're going to go through the head, hook on to the black band, and pull that all the way through. There we go. Turning the head round, going behind the S-clip, we want to go as close as we can, but over the bands that are there. So you can see there's a series of bands in the middle. Hook the black band, and then pull it through again to the back. Don't worry if you need to stretch out the head a little bit more. It just means that you've got, and you can see where you're going. So there's an eye using a single black band. I'm just going to pull that other bit out. There we are. Just so you can see where I've placed it. That's that one. As you can see at the back, we've now got a loose hoop. That just needs to be connected into the S-clip that we used at the back. Don't worry if you're using different types of S-clips, there are several out there. As long as it holds the bands together, it really does not matter. So that's one eye. So the same again for the other eye. Make sure it's held at the back and then just pull it through. Now, so I can get them as equal as possible, I've started from the inside of the eye, and I will move my way to the outside. So there's my black band held and pulled through. There we go. And then we'll go around through the other side. So there we have the basis of the Jack's head and body together. Next we're going to do his hat at the top here, and we're going to do his ruff that goes around his collar just there. For that we're going to need our loom again, so I'm going to put Jack to the back just there, and on our loom we need to take out our central part on our adjustable loom and go back to how we had it, like that. So you can see it goes up like that. There we go. Starting from the scoop end down there, we're going to work on the collar. We need to go straight from the bottom to the top with double bands, using a standard run. We're going to go like that all the way along till we've got to the end. So at the moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 on here. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to show you how this one can work for the neck. So just as normal, turn the loom round, starting from the next one up, hook them over and create your band as you would normally. Now once we've got to the top, take ourselves an S-clip, pull that nice and tight and get an S-clip over all of the bands that you've got just at the end there. Once you've hooked that together, pull the band off until we get to the end, and then once we are at the end, pull that tight and you'll have a simple neck. Ignoring the two that are at the end here, what you need to do is go down to the next one and hook that onto the S-clip, so you end up with that collar like that. That then slides over the top of his head. You want to make it smaller, to make it tighter, you can do, as long as it goes around his neck like that, we'll be fine. So then we'll work on the hat. So with the ruff, you're probably going to want around 16 to 20 red bands and double them up for each different line. As you can see, I've just did the S-clip, tucks around the top, clips it together. This does the slip over the top, so it is meant to be left loose. As I said, the least amount of bands you use, the tighter it will be, and the tighter around his neck it will go. So next is the hat. For the hat we're going to use the same as we did for the collar, but this time we're going to do it in black. You'll probably only need around 10 to 12 black bands for this one, and again, starting at the bottom with double bands, we're going to work from bottom to top before we rotate it and create our band. That one decided to be a little loose just there. Let's try that one again. So I've got 12 just on there. I'll turn it around and then create my band. Again, you need your S-clip, and on the top ones, just there, we're going to bind them together with your S-clip, like so. Pull the band off, and we're left with that just there. Hoop those together. There we go, and that is the rim of our hat. Take Jack and pass the hook that we made earlier around, and we'll have it look like that at the moment. Obviously there's no top to his hat, and that's what we need to do next. So with the rim of the hat perched on the top of Jack's head, you can see it's still fairly loose, it slides up and down just there. We need to make the top of his hat. We take 2 single black bands like so, twist them round and loop it over your finger like so. So you should have 2 bars over your finger. Stretch that out, poke another finger through, and then slide the centre of the dangle through and down. Now in order to hold this in place, what we need to do is we need to take this white bit, fold it down the back, and then attach it onto the S-clip that is holding the collar down there. Straighten out all your bands, including the one at the top. Now you can do, if you'd like to, you can attach the S-clips that we've used at the back onto the main face of Jack. Sometimes helps to hold it in place, just depends on how loose your bands are. Pull that tight at the top. And there we have it, there's the hat. And that's our Jack completed. All you need to do now is get your box ready, and so you can sit him in your box ready to go. Okay, that's it completed. So there we have it. Why not upload your Loom band creations to our Facebook page to be featured on our website?